I almost didn't want to do that. I was terrified I was going to get hurt. Anyway, that's what we see. We see it so often. We just see some nastiness. People stand up. They probably smile like I smiled there. And then what they say is, I got it, but it was nasty. And they're so proud and so happy. So for me and my training, and I recommend it to you, is you just got to hold yourself to a higher standard. So what I consider a deadlift is managing a neutral spine position, using a full foot to kind of drive up and come up. A stiff-legged deadlift would be with the hips a lot higher. So what I'm really trying to do is I'm not trying to get too caught up in, it's not competition stuff. I'm not trying to get too caught up in how many reps and I got to get these reps done at all costs. I'm trying to get caught up in, is it a deadlift? I don't know what that thing is. And here's the tricky part, and here's why so many people let themselves get away with it, is because that counts in a CrossFit competition. That counts in a powerlifting meet. So that count, strongman, if you're doing that, it counts in these things. So you got to figure out, why are you training? Most people are not actually competing at a world-class level in these three things. So if you're not, what you got to do is you got to hold yourself to that higher standard. And maybe this happens and you stand the bar up. So what this tells us is that maybe your legs, maybe your back is strong enough to lift that weight, but maybe your abs, or maybe your back isn't, or maybe the quads, or there's a whole lot of reasons why we might get into that position. So it might mean, 2-3 things out of 6 are at that weight, but not all of them. And until all of them are at that weight, you don't get to earn it. So what I do with myself is, if I'm lifting, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it's got to be really good. And really good just means that back stays flat. I control it. If I have a big loss, drop the bar. But even if I don't, say I'm just in get it or die mode, and I stand up with it, I write in my notes, back rounded, blah, blah, blah. Could have had it, but didn't yet. So then I know I'm not chasing these numbers. So what happens is people go max back squat, their knees come in hard, or deadlift, they round their back, press, they do all sorts of weird things. And then they set the PRs and they write down, here's the number. And then every time, now 3 months later, they're trying to beat it. And now they got to do that same crap to beat it, instead of taking a step back and going, you know what, I didn't really earn that one. I didn't get that one, and I want to get that one. So stand up with weight here, stand up with the same weight there, that's a PR. Same weight, better technique, PR. So hold yourself to that higher standard. Not only is it going to transfer into the real world, it's going to transfer into much, much higher numbers. When you let yourself get away with this crap, you're just putting a ceiling over how high you can potentially go. And what we want is just hold yourself to that higher standard. That way when the music's going and the class is going, or you're out in the real world and this is happening or this is happening, no matter what it is, that is the technique you just go to without thinking about it, because it's the technique you've relied on over and over and over and over again. So make it look good. Talk to y'all soon.